I'm Minna, this is the Mythomat with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battles. So, we just got the announcement of the new unit for part 2 of the Worldwide Celebration. I was expecting, to be honest, a little bit less information, maybe just for them to show us the card art, but we just got lucky. Not only they showed us the card art, but they also showed the animations and the kits of the two main units during the video that we just got. I am a little bit late on this. I didn't have the time to do a presentation right at the time where the video was broadcast. The reason why is that I changed my organization of my day, thinking that it would be tomorrow, and so it was impossible for me to do it sooner than now. But okay, now here we are. So I already saw a little bit about the information about the units, about their kit, about their animation. Spoiler ahead, I think that not only their animation are really good, especially the one from Gohan, and I think that the unit seems to be pretty fun, pretty interesting, very different from what we are used to, namely Broly. So I'm going to use their video of the presentation to talk a little bit about what we saw, what we knew. So for the video that I posted this morning, I made a couple of wild guesses because of the teas that we got, and I got a couple of them right, namely the unit themselves, although I think that after seeing the teas it was pretty obvious it was going to be a legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and it was going to be maybe less expected, less sure. It could have been, like I mentioned at the time, it could have still been a Gohan, a Goten, a Trunks, or a Gohan and Goten, or Gohan, Goten, and Goku. At the end, it was what I said. It was a Gohan, Super Saiyan Gohan Teen, so which is a name that we don't have a lot of units, so it is pretty cool. And also we got a lot of information regarding Dragon Balls appearing during the moment where we choose the bubbles we want to destroy. So let's start it immediately with the video about the moment where they show the card art.
Here they are.
So obviously very good looking. Not obviously, it could have not been, but in my opinion, the card art are really cool. Of both units. I really like what they did with the card art in both Broly and with Gohan, so very good there. Then I'm going to move on and show you, I believe they started with the animation from Broly. Yes, so we have an entrance animation, that's the first thing we are going to see, and then I think we are going to see the 12 and the 18
create
key.
a domain with his active skill. Here are his animations.
Okay, so here are his animations. So cool. This should be the 12th key. Right. This should be the 12th key. Very cool here. Right. And then the 18th key. Nice.
How is that?
Okay, so to be honest, I'm not so I like these animations, but I think that, for example, the animations from Gohan are a little bit better. I felt the same thing during the part 1, when I felt that the LR physical Goku, Gohan and Goten, Goku Gohan and Trunks animation were a little bit better, a lot better in my opinion than Broly, and this time I feel a little bit about the same, except when we are then talking about the standby and the revival of Broly, which I think looks really nice. But in terms of the super attack, I think they are good, but not as good as other animation, but that's what it is. So now talking about the information that we got regarding the unit. So as we were thinking, this unit is an extreme int unit, so exactly the same typing have the poor Easy A that we just got that share the exact same name. So this will be, like we mentioned, a legendary Super Saiyan Broly. He's on a lot of teams. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 14 teams. That's very good. The more team is in, the more we will get use of him. Then in terms of his leader skill, and by the way, I didn't, let me just show you this. So this is the category where he will be on. So like I mentioned, he will be now his category. So like I mentioned, he will be uncontrollable power, the new category that was appearing in part 1, namely with Paragus, revenge or planetary destruction category, key plus 3 HP attack and defense 170%, and he will do the full 200% to those one that will also belong to movie boss, transformation boost or pure Saiyan. So if we look just at the 200, and as you know, sometimes you can do a lot of good teams also using some unit at 170. As you can see, you have some of the top unit of the extreme unit that we have. The part 1 Carnival unit with Broly, the unit from the anniversary, the other Broly, so obviously we'll have the chance, and the recent Easy 8 Broly. So I would say that mainly this team will be using Broly, but we also have this guy, this Cell Max, which is very good, and also this guy that recently got his EZA, and I think he would be a very important unit on this team. And then we could have, we never know if we might get the EZA of this guy sooner than later, and we will talk a little bit about the possibility also to see the super EZA of this guy over here. And as you know, this guy is still also a good unit. So what do you see here that we can still use? So for the time, Orange Piccolo could be unit, although I don't think, from what I recall from the passive, I don't think we are very interested in having super unit on the team, and we are going to talk a little bit about that. But so far, so good. Maybe a little bit restrictive in terms of the 200% leader skill, but it will be pretty easy to do. Pretty easy if you have the unit, obviously. Pretty easy to do, which is not an easy task, since we are talking about units that came during the last month. So that will be the three, I would say, three strongest units on the team are those three over here. So plus the unit that you have to pull. So, okay, if you have all those units, I think you can do a pretty easy team, but you need to have them, so it will maybe not be very easy. So this is in terms of his leader skills, which I think is very good. Then they went talking about the super attack effect, and that was one of the first surprises that we got. So first of all, these 12 key will massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn. That's 100%. And then we have a high chance, so a 50% chance, to further raising defense for 1 turn. So this is the 12. So you are going to raise his attack by 100% for 1 turn, and you might raise his attack by 100% for 1 turn, or 130%, which is very good. Cause colossal damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy. In some cases that could be interesting. Even Cell Max, after some point you can stun him, so that could be very interesting. Is 18 keys even better, so we will also massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn, so once again 100% for 1 turn, and you have a high chance, also a 50%, of further massively raising his attack. So in this case 100% of raising his attack, so you will have 100 and you will have 50% chance to get at least 200% attack for 1 turn, and guaranteed 100% defense for 1 turn, and you have also guaranteed percent attack for 1 turn. So I think that what I said is not correct in terms of the. So let me rephrase that. For the 18 key, you have guaranteed 100% attack and 100% defense for one turn, and you have 50% chance to get more 100%, so you have a 50% chance to in total get a massively raise of attack of 200%. Then you have also a great chance of stunning the enemy, a 70% chance to stun, so feels like pretty good overall. So then the passive, okay, so yeah, the talking about big SA passive. So this passive is very big. So first thing first, so we have an entrance animation without any restriction. Okay, so for 4 turn you will give extreme class ally defense plus 40%, which is very good. Okay, then we will have, but it's no longer for 4 turn but guaranteed to the rest of the battle, so you will have attack and defense plus 260%, start of turn attack, very good. And you will have for all the battle damage reduction of 60%, that's very good. Let me remind you that after you use the active skill of part 1 of the tech LR Broly, you will have 50% damage reduction, and then for 2 occasions you will have 26% damage reduction more. So the difference is that the part 1 unit will be stronger on these first 2 appearances, and this one will be stronger from that point on. But very good, so damage reduction of 60% for all the battle, that's very good. Okay, you will have a multiplicative buff of attack of 100% when attacking. That's very good also. And you will have keep plus 2 and recovers 2% HP per type key sphere obtained. So I'm not sure. Is the keep plus 2 per type key sphere? No, I don't think it will. So I'm not sure the commas and the and, I'm not sure. So we will see if I read a little bit more about this detail. I'm not sure if it's an additional key plus 2 per type key sphere obtained, or if it's just a key plus 2 and then we will recover 2 HP per type key sphere obtained. That's pretty good. Let's imagine you get like 5, it will mean you will have a recover of 10% HP, which is very good. If you get 10, you will have 20, so that's very good. So then I think they continue talking about his domain. Okay, so the domain can be activated via active skill. Okay, what is the active skill condition for his domain? It can be activated when a Goku family category enemy is on the turn, is the enemy, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are in controllable power. So if you have, let's say on the first turn you have immediately 3 units that are on the category of incontrollable power, which is doable, that would mean that immediately you will have the opportunity to use the active skill of the domain Molten Lava of the Natate village for 3 turns. On that point you will massively raise attack temporarily and you will cause ultimate damage to the enemy. We will also see, I think that right after this we will see the active skill animation. And so at that point I think they will highlight this after. Okay, let me show you so the animation. I really like the animation for the domain.
His active skill animations.
That's good. That looks very good. That's wow. And then also the revival, I think they saw it immediately. So this is the domain. Nice. And then let's see, that's an example. If Gohan or whatever will kill not only your unit or any unit on the turn, you'll have this animation, which looks so cool. Yeah, I mentioned this morning how cool would it be to have this animation, and here it is. Wow, that looks so cool. Okay, yeah, clapped. You can clap for yourself, you deserve that. This animation are really cool. By the way, I got the chance to see second coming of Broly movie last night with my son. We saw, and look, The animation we are seeing in this celebration are really very close to what you can see on the movie. They are very cool and very good. Okay, so so they explained it how it works. And so during the domain, what do we have more? Okay, so during the domain, we will have the uncontrollable power category enemy and allies will have attack and defense plus 15% multiplicative buff, and you will increase the damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 15%, and if they are of movie heroes it will be even more, it will be 25. Also a very good effect for those 3 turns that you will have the domain. So let me see how they talk. So regarding the domain, how does it work? So while you are on the domain, you will randomly change key sphere of a certain type, int and str excluded, to str key at the start of character attacking turn, and you will guard all attacks. So for 3 turns, which is the time you will have with the domain, you will guard with 60% damage reduction. I think that's very good. Also, you will be effective against all type for the rest of the battle when the character perform an attack while the domain is active. So that, I think they meant that it will be effective against all type for the rest of the battle. Okay, so you don't have even after the 3 turns of the domain, it will still be effective against all types. That's not crit, but that's very good. To be honest, I am not sure why they are changing int and str to str. I see only 2 possible reasons. The first one is that they want you to use on this team either Cellmax or Turles, the LR Turles that recently got his EZA, and that would help us to get his 24 key, which is important to this unit. Or we could be, that's the second reason I'm thinking, is that maybe I talked about this morning, that maybe we could see some kind of super EZA of one or maybe both of the unit, the legendary. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So like I mentioned this morning, we will have, so this new unit will be here, and so although it's the same name, maybe they can give us a surprise and they can give and this was the first LR to get an EZA, summonable LR, because the first one was Goku Black, if I'm not mistaken. So this one was the first LR summonable to get an EZA, so maybe it will be the first LR to get a super EZA, or maybe this one, or maybe both. And at that point also it could be interesting. That could mean that they will be obviously interested in having STR key orbs to some kind of part of their passive, although it feels like it could also mean that to be very good to this guy over here, which is STR. This guy will also like to see those. We have a lot of STR units that could be fit this team in the future. This guy, when getting his EZA, should be very good. And like I mentioned, so this guy could be getting a super EZA. That would be pretty cool. And maybe that's the reason, because I don't see a lot of reason why that would be the case. So, so that's the active skill. And after that, then they highlighted this part. So starting from the 5th turn, so this is when you will no longer have the entrance animation, which give extreme class ally defense plus 30%. From that point on, you will be able to revive with 60% HP when the character or all or any ally in the same turn is KO'd. That would be interesting. So that would mean if you had one of those guys in each of the rotation, that would mean that from that point on, from 5th turn, from the character entry turn, not start of battle, you would have like both rotation would be protected against KO. And at that point, you will get plus an additional defense plus 60% when reviving, when receiving an attack, or ally revival skill is activate. Okay, and from that point on, you will also change key sphere, physical key sphere, into Int key sphere, you will give uncontrollable power category ally and defense plus 60%, which is crazy support. So, but you have obviously to get through a lot of hoops. So you first need to be on the 5th turn after entering this turn, and you need to revive, which is obviously possible. And if I'm not mistaken, to have that support, it needs to be this character to die. Start of a character taking turns starting from the turn in which the character revival skill is activated. No, it doesn't need to be him. Because his revival skill, it's if it's his die or any one of them. So okay, so it feels to me like this support, you will get it once you revive. So once you revive, this unit will be starting giving uncontrollable power category ally attack and defense plus 60%. So I imagine you can have this for the first unit, and if you run a friend, you could also have it because this is on once only for himself. That's how I read this. So I think that you could have this for the first unit, but also for the friend if you are using them in main rotation. So it feels very, very strong indeed. Okay, so they were explaining about all of this. So okay, so now on to Gohan. Okay, so now we are going to see his animation. I think they are crazy, and then we are talking a bit about his details. Okay, so let's see the
super
animation.
attack animations.
So this is the 12th key. In my opinion, looks really, really nice. Yeah, Mazenko. And then the 18 key looks even better. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
We
they are
have
very, very
created
good.
the scene where he faced
Okay,
Broly.
so he
in
faced
Goku's
Broly instead of Goku. So in terms of the team, okay, let me see. That went fast.
He faced Broly in Goku's place in the second movie of the trilogy.
Let's move on to his abilities.
Okay, his abilities. So first, his team. So a lot of very good teams. As I said this morning, Kamehameha could be the unit. I thought that it could be Kamehameha or Earthbred Fighter, and it will be Kamehameha 200%. I will talk a little bit about that. Is Super STR, so one more Super Saiyan. So Gohan is really fit to be STR, very good. No problem at all with this. So a lot of category also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 10, 11, okay, not as much as Broly, but very good category. He will fit, by the way, he will be on a lot of the categories also from the part 1 Dokkan Fest exclusive. So regarding his ability, so talking about his effect from super attack. So his 12 key will greatly raise attack and raise defense, so 50% attack and 30% defense for one turn, will cause colossal damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy. Okay. Then for his 18 key, he will greatly raise attack, so that's the same. That's 50%, raise defense that's 30%, and cause mega colossal damage. So instead of colossal, it will be mega colossal. And then you will raise super class ally defense by 50% for one turn. So that's very important. Just imagine a rotation where you have, for example, this guy, and I would say I think this guy will be slot 2. We will see. I need to see still some more information about this defense. That seems pretty high, but let's say you use the Dokkan Fest exclusive for part 1, the physical LR, Goku, Gohan and Trunks, and you get their 18 key. From that point, let me remind you, you will get 30% attack and 30% defense support, and then you got this guy and you will raise the defense of the super class ally by 50%. So just imagine, let's say you use, for example, Gogeta, physical LR Gogeta is one of the units that before doing his transformation sometimes can be caught even on slot 3 by a super attack. But let's just imagine that you will have not only the support from defense from the passive, of LR physical GGT, and then the one from the 18 key, and then the one from this guy. So look, the numbers from the defense of LR physical Gogeta and with guard will be very, very strong. So I think that's a very good help to these units. So regarding more information, so like I mentioned, that was one of my choices, and I really like this team. Kamehame category, key +3, attack and HP and defense 200%. As this guy is a carnival unit, it only have one 200%. Let me show you the team. So as you can see, we were long overdue to have a new leader for this team, and as you can see, so these guys, this guy, so this is a very strong category. Yeah, we have a lot of units. Let me remind you that those two units should be getting their EZA during the 10th anniversary. This guy is crazy. These guys are really good. This guy is still very good also. You can use those guys in some events. They are still very strong. Then from the when you continue there, maybe not any. Ooh, you have this guy. Well, yeah, this is a obviously Kamehame is a very strong and will continue to be a very strong category with a lot of very good units. So I think that's pretty solid, to say the least, in terms of categories. So I'm really happy with this. Then in terms of his passive, so okay, once more a big SA. So you will get key +5 attack and defense +200%. Then you will get an additional key +2 attack +40% up to 200% and defense +30% up to 100% with each attack performed. Wow, so okay, you need this guy to do some additionals, and that could be like crazy number. Then you will get a multiplicative buff of attack of 77% within the same turn with each super attack performed. Okay, launch an additional that has a great chance of becoming a super attack when key is 18 or more. So if you get to the 18 key, you will launch a guaranteed additional, a normal, and you have a great chance, 70% chance to be a super. That's very good. When you get to 24 key, which I think could be quite easy, as you will have a lot of key. So we have limits over this. So it feels like, no, that's strange. Does that mean you will raise this key +2 without a cap? Okay, so if that means that, you will really fast, you will have your 24 key. Okay, so if you have your 24 key, you will get an additional attack plus 58%, and you will launch an additional super attack. Wow. So that's already, without the hidden potential, that's 3 potential super attack. That's very good. And if HP is 77% or more, you will be effective against all types. Okay, that's good. And if you have another Kamehame or Earthbred fighter attacking in the same turn, so just one, you will get an additional key +2. You will guard. Wow. Okay. So that's if you have 77% or more. And if you have 77% or less, when receiving an attack, you will have a high chance of evading the enemy, 50%. So, okay. Okay, so if you have at 77% or more, effective against all type, and then if you have those two conditions, you will have key +2 and you will guard. If not, if you are below 77%, then at that point you will have 50% chance to dodge. No damage reduction, the guard is conditional, or you would dodge. You have a lot of defense over here. Okay, so like I mentioned, I think that this guy will not, at least on his first turn, be a slot 1 unit. We will see, but I think this guy feels like a very second turn unit, okay? But that's very good. So what do we have more? So then I think they are going to talk about the standby. So the standby is very interesting. Let me first of all show you, by the way, exactly as it happened on the movie.
Here it is.
Standby active skill. Looks really, really nice.
I'm the one who's going to defeat you!
Ah, so cool.
Did you
Okay.
like it?
Nice.
The standby skill activation
Okay, so when can you do this? Can be activated when HP is 77% or less. Okay, so this is related also to what we can see on his passive. Or starting from the third turn from the character entry turn. So not start of battle. So that would mean you could use this starting from the third turn from the so I'm not sure if that will be his second appearance or if it has to be just like Gogeta and you need to float him to get it the second turn he will arrive. I'm not sure about that. I will still need to try this out, but if it is his second appearance, that's very good, obviously. So at that point he will stand by for 5 turns, so that's very good. That gives us a lot of times to, you will see, he will have a new ability. I also mentioned that in my video this morning related to Dragon Ball. That's very, very cool. I really like what they did with this very interesting new mechanic. But so during for 5 turns, so that will give us, once you enter the standby, you will have 4 turns and then you will do the finishing move. So that's very good. A lot of times to increase his ability. So how does that work? 7 Dragon Balls will appear. They are going to show how that will look like. And at that point, with every key sphere you will obtain by the allies, it will count as 1. Each one of them that has a Dragon Ball in him, it will be 4. Okay, so a different counting solution. I think that now they are going to show how it will work out. And here it is. Okay. And so, okay, so as you can see, okay, ooh, what are those units? Okay, this one is the free-to-play we are going to get. I know that the side banner unit is a Videl. Could this be also a free-to-play unit? I think this is a new sprite, a new image. Okay, so as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they appear immediately and from the beginning, all of the 7. And so what you will have to do, obviously, you will have to hit all of them. Omatsu just said that the order is not important, so you don't have, that would be too challenging. I reckon it would be too challenging, but you don't have to be 1, then the 2, then the 3, then the 4, then the 5, then the 6, then the 7. You can do whichever order you want. Like we said, 5 turns to do so, so it feels like it should be pretty, I don't want to say easy, but I think that could be very doable. Okay, so just by that, that's 28 charge. Okay, I know that the threshold is 35 and you will have 3 different attack and 3 different animation depending on the numbers of charge you have and the numbers of Dragon Ball you will eat. I will just show you that. So they give an example. Okay.
The order.
Okay, is not restricted, like I mentioned. Then talking about the number. So what is the finish effect? Okay, so they have like 3 different animation.
Here we go.
So the first one is a Kamehame just by Gohan, and that looks really, really good. Yeah. So cool. Then the second one is also with Goten. Not a fan of the dub, but yeah, that looks really, really good. And then obviously the final one will be also with Son Goku. And just look at this. This is wow. Peak animation.
What are we gonna do? I wish Dad was here.
You scurry out of power!
Just look at this.
No more chances after this one.
Wow. Whoa. Oh my god. Wow. Are you kidding me? Look, that's the second time I see this and it looks so good.
Every ounce of power.
When Goku just arrived,
No more chances after this one. Father.
his transformation, then the Kamehameha, and then the family Kamehameha. This is exactly as in the movie. Wow. And then on top of that, you have a chaos screen, a really cool chaos screen, when they think that Goku is there with them, and they wonder
How
if
are
it
they?
was. Yeah, it's amazing.
As you might
Komatsu.
have expected. We
Yeah. You have recreated the lot of key climax and this one in particular in this animation. Wow, clap down, yeah. Very, very good, very, very impressive. Okay, so how do you have all of those effects? So the first one, the one just with Gohan, is if you just charge your count below 34 or less. I think that's very difficult. You would need to let me remind you that you will have 4 turns to charge, so I think that's very difficult for that to happen. At that moment you will raise your attack by 15% per charge count, and you will cause ultimate damage to the enemy. So the second one is the one if you get so more than 35 but less than 6 Dragon Ball spheres, so you don't get the 7, so it will be 6 or fewer Dragon Ball obtained. And at that point, so you will have Goten on the animation, you will still raise your attack by 15% per charge count, and you will cause super ultimate damage instead of just ultimate damage to the enemy. And finally, the one that obviously you will be all aiming to get, which is the strongest one of all the 3 of them, can be activated when charge count is 35 or more, and you will have obtained all the 7 Dragon Balls. I think that will be quite easy. I would maybe easy is too strong of a word, but I really think that you will have this, and by that point you will have not only attack by 20%, and then you will have also super ultimate, and you will be attack effective against all types. Maybe I would have preferred on that part to be a crit, but at least that will be because crit give you more damage. The multiplicative effect, if I'm not mistaken, for crit is 1.9. For effective against all type, it's 1.6 or 1.65, something like that. So a little bit less on the attack effective against all type. But at least if you are facing, for example, an AGL unit, it will not be like he's guarding. So that's very, very useful. But in my opinion, it should have been maybe a crit on this part of his passive, but that's very, very good for sure. So I think that okay, oof. While we are on standby, so while we are charging, what does this guy do? Okay, he's unable to attack, okay, except obviously when he finish when he do the finish effect, but keep in mind that he will at that point his attack, so that should be the moment you do the finish effect, will be 77% per superclass ally attacking in the same turn, and if all allies attacking in the same turns are superclass, he will reduce damage received by 77%. So let's say, and I think this is the way you are going to use this guy, you would be using a full superclass unit. At that point, he will not only have 77% damage reduction, but on top of this, just look at this number, he will get defense plus 50%. I almost feel like this is a mistake and it's 5. Let's see if that's not a mistake and that's 5. Just to give you why I'm saying that, for example, for LR physical Goku, Gohan and Trunks, in this part of his standby, it's 7% per key sphere obtained. Physical key sphere obtained. And here they are saying that it's 50% per whatever key sphere you want to obtain. So let's give you concept. Let's say with a rainbow or a key sphere changer, like for example LR physical GGT, you will get 10. That's not difficult. That would mean by that moment you will have a raise of defense of 500% with reduced damage of 77%. Oh, just wait, they also guard. So what does this mean is that at that point, not only they are slot 1, I think they are, you cannot kill them. I'm not sure how soon you will have something that could kill this unit with 77% damage reduction. Let's say 500 defense. I think that will be most common. Let's say 250. Let's say you have 5 key. And guarding. Okay, please show me what kind of unit is going to kill this guy. Unless they are going to do like a very big power creep in the 10th anniversary. I think that this guy should be very, very good during his standby skill. Not to say that, for example, before he gets to that, I think at that point it could die, but let me see about the calculation of this unit. So very, very, very good. So let's see if they talk anything else regarding this. Okay, so they also talked a little bit about the changing in the way they will give us 50 Dragon Stones when we are in first place in 3 or more region. I would prefer that it would be exactly the same in the Japan version. So if Japan get it, we will get it. If the international get it, the Japanese will also get it. So it should be the same objective, but from a business perspective, I can see why they are seeing that. They want us obviously to buy stones. Okay, so regarding this presentation, and this video is already pretty long, this is all I have to say. A couple of information. So first calculation, shout out to Pierre Giogugiolo. Okay, I'm not sure, sorry if I mispronounce your name. And he's saying that yes, Gohan's value attack are correct. So I just can imagine. So let's see. Link it with Tech LR Broly. Okay, I imagine he's talking about the part 1 unit. So before reviving, you will have a start of turn defense of this, and when you have an ultra, you will jump to that. With a second additional, you will jump to that. Full additional 1.3 million. Okay, post revival with different dimension domain. Different dimension. I'm not sure what domain is it. Maybe this is the domain from AGL LR Broly. Not sure. So you can go up to 2.2. So not bad. Post revive without any domain, you can go to 1.9. So with 60% damage reduction, I think that this guy will be very good defensively. I'm not sure about his attack. Let's see if this is calculated. Yeah, it is. Wow, not sure about his attack. Never mind. Okay, so this is obviously rainbow, but the ultra will be at 20%, full ultra 22, additional at 14, full additional at 16. Okay. This is because okay. This is because of the chances that you got to have the massively raise of attack. You can get it or not, so that's why they have 2 numbers. Okay. That's so full additional is because of the 30% defense that you might get or might not get. You have a 50% chance to get, so you have a flip coin to be like this or to be like this. And in terms of the attack, fully rainbowed, linked with the part 1 LR Tech Broly. So that's pretty good numbers. After revival, it will be even higher. Wow. Okay. And after the revival without any domain, still very, very big numbers. So pretty good. Then Str LR Gohan. So no double SSJ trio into double SSJ trio. What does that mean? Okay. If you have the support from them. Okay. That makes a big difference, because as you can see, the numbers will go higher and higher. Okay, so no all in the family in terms of link is still start of turn. You can go from 557 and 843, and then with each time you do an attack, you can go, wow, up to 2.5. That's very good. With all in the family, even higher. Start of turn of with next to these guys of almost 1 million. And then as you do additional, almost up to 2. Okay, attack 24 key. Okay. 36 million, between 30 or 36 million, and then the additional first one between 23 to 28, 28 to 34, 34 to 42 million. Do you think that's good? So they haven't done the calculation about the finishing move, but wow. Okay, I was talking about his defense. But once again, like I mentioned, I'm not seeing him as a slot 1 unit, but obviously as a slot 2, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. Okay, then let me just see roughly if the calculation are the same. It feels like to be the same. So linked with LR Tech Broly transform. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Minato just makes some also calculation. New Super Saiyan fully built up as a slot 2 to SSJ3 on their teams. So 150 for support from both unit, the leader and the friend, plus the 30% defense via super attack effect, no equips. First super, he will get his defense by 1.7, first additional 2 million, second additional, yeah, that's very good. He also guard and get 50% chance to dodge depending on the condition. If you are below 77%, so that's impressive. Okay, like I meant, for the slot 2 unit, that's very good. Okay, the video is already pretty long, but let me just give you some information about Videl. So Videl will be the banner side unit for Broly. Let me see. So what do we have over here? So she will be Dragon Ball Seeker, so 2 leader skill, as we saw with Piccolo and Vegeta from part 1. Then what do we have here? So let me see. So can I zoom in a little bit? No, I cannot. Okay. So attack and defense plus 200%, plus an additional attack and defense plus 200% when performing a super attack. Very good. Randomly change key sphere of a certain type, tech excluded to tech. Medium chance of that 30% to dodge. She will give Dragon Ball Seekers or Earthbred Fighters category ally key plus 2 attack and defense plus 40%. Plus an additional key plus 2 when the character is the second to obtain key sphere in a turn, and an additional attack and defense of 20% when the character is the third to obtain key in a turn. So I reckon that this key plus 2 will be the support. Okay, so you can choose to give more key or more support, attack and defense support, if you use her in the second or the third slot. Okay, very interesting. She will reduce damage received by 20% with each attack performed up to 40%. So let's say she do an additional, she will have 40% as the second attack in a turn, and the chance of evading super attack will be 20% more with each attack performed up to 40 as the third. So on the second position, if she do 2 super attack, which she have no way to do that via passive, so you will need to give her additional, and at that point she will get damage reduction or 20 or 40 as the second turn, or you will get 20 or 40% more super attack. So here you have 30, so that will be 50 or 70% chance to dodge. Okay, she looks okay. I'm not sure about yeah, obviously she will have a very tough time because of her links, that's for sure. She will raise attack and defense for 1 turn. Okay, Videl, and she will be tech. Okay, we will see. Not very impressed, but this is obviously my first impression. So, Minna, very happy to what we saw. Still a little bit soon to say how strong these guys will be compared, for example, to part 1. But my first gut feeling said to me that they are very good. By the way, let me remind you that the first time we saw the details for LR Physical GGT, Goku, Gohan and Trunks, We didn't came very impressed with them. We said they were good, but to be honest, I never thought that they could be number one, even better than Beast Gohan. And in some occasion, they really feel like if they are not number one, they are tight at number one. So we will see about this Broly. This Broly, I'm really curious to use him. There's a lot things to do with those units. One thing's for sure, this unit feel like they are really fun to use. I used LR Physical GGT for a lot right now. I made a lot of different battles with them, and I feel that with their standby, with their different ability, they feel like a fun unit to use. And in this case, I feel like it's going to be the same with the revival from Broly, with the standby from Gohan. I really feel like we are going to have a lot of fun. So Minna, by the way, they mentioned this at the video, I just forgot to say to you that the banner would be arriving on the 13th. Not sure about the time zone. I need to see if it's 13 or 14. It might depend. Maybe they were talking about 13 in Japan, so maybe that will be the 14th for you guys. Let's see if we have more information about when the banner are going to arrive. So we have a couple of days to think a little bit about how to do. I will summon for them for sure. Maybe I will concentrate my summon for Broly, and then I might get Gohan with the PD system. I will see. It will also depend a lot on the banner, but I'm expecting obviously the banner of Broly to be a lot better than the one from Gohan, and that's why I think it could be smart to summon on Broly's and then to acquire, if you have the stones for it, then to acquire Gohan with the PD system. Let me remind you also that we will have the rainbow tickets that could be used also in, I think you can use them in any one of the banner. Let me give you the example. It was with those rainbow tickets that I got Beast Gohan on the anniversary. A very pleasant surprise. I wasn't going to chase him, and it was really good surprise to get him with that. So you have a lot of different ways. Although I know that a lot of people are not very happy with the PD system, I totally agree that it should be a lot less stones, but I think it's a lot less coins. But I really think that the PD system is good. I made a video talking a little bit about how I think it's a lot better than everyone is talking about. And on top of that, I think that's let's hope they continue to use it for the 10th anniversary. So Minna, I'm about to end this video, so very excited for those units. I really like the animation. Like I mentioned, in the case of Broly, I really like his standby and his revival. They are really cool. Not a big fan of the 12 and 18 key, but they are good. They are not bad. In terms of the animation of Gohan, they all feels like very good. The 12, the 18 key, and mostly, obviously, the standby skill when you get the family Kamehameha is unbelievable. I cannot wait to have this guy and to use his standby skill. So Minna, this will be it for the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. That will be highly appreciated, and I will see you all in the next one.